Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're talking about the Sacramento Kings. Joe Dumars has left mysteriously, and the final rounds of interviews has begun. So before we start today's video, who do you want to be the head coach? Steve Clifford, Mike Brown, or Mark Jackson? So let's get right into it and let's talk about it. Like and subscribe. I want to hear your thoughts down below. So the final round of the Kings interviews, which now includes Ranadivé, is in person in Sacramento. And if you guys don't know who Ranadivé, hopefully I'm saying the name right. I know it's Vivek Ranadivé. So either way, hopefully I'm saying that right. Tell me down below how to say it if I'm saying it wrong. Steve Clifford, the former head coach of the Charlotte Hornets and the Orlando Magic, spent last season as the Brooklyn Nets consultant, interviewed Sunday and continued his interview Monday, which is today when I'm making the video, and he's a guy who's renowned for being a defensive coach. Now, Mark Jackson is up next, the former Golden State coach who spent the past 8 years as an ESPN analyst, was with the Warriors during Ranadivé's, I'm saying this so bad, but during, his time there as a minority owner, okay? Is it Ranadivé? I'm going to say that, Ranadivé. And then Mike Brown is going to come up after, game 2 Wednesday, and he's expected to present his vision of the team that went 30-52 last season, and that's expected to happen about Thursday, Friday probably, and he's expected to take an interview both in San Francisco and Sacramento. So they're going to be meeting him twice in person. And Brown, of course, has been a head coach 3 times, twice as the Cavaliers during the LeBron James era of 2005 to 2010, and then again with the Cavs after James was gone in 2013 and 2014. And then in 2012, 2013, and 2011 to 2012, he was the head coach of, basically from 2011 to 2013, he was the head coach of, the Lakers, and he only coached 6 games into that 2012 to 2013 season. Either way, he joined the Steve Kerr staff thanks to a recommendation from Greg Popovich in the summer of 2016. And I think it's interesting because you look at this team with everybody there. It's interesting because round 2, this means owners weigh in. And the modern day Kings, where, Vivek Ranadivé, I'm saying this so bad, but because you don't really hear people say owners' names often. Okay, that's my argument right now. Either way, the thing with this team is Joe Dumars left. To state the obvious here, it's really unorthodox for a high-ranking team official to exit just days before announcing or even considering who should be their head coach. And Dumars' contract was expiring, and I'm told he wanted more direct control of the front office if he was going to stay. And Dumars' desired structure was McNair would have to report to him instead of, the owner, Ranadivé. And Ranadivé didn't share an interest in setting that sort of setup. And now Dumars has opted for a more prominent role within the NBA as a whole. He's now working as basically the vice president of basketball or the president of basketball operation for the NBA, which is weird. I didn't know. So he'll be working with all teams. And it's kind of bizarre because the Kings GM search unfolded nearly 2 years ago when Dumars showed strong signs of wanting the job. He would, end up playing a pivotal part of filling it in. And it's interesting to see that now Monte McNair is the guy that Dumars helped choose, but is kind of the reason why he's out. And the questions around the league are whether or not McNair was truly leading the front office should decide. It's McNair's front office. Dumars was far more influential than his title suggested, but he knew his place in the power structure and he wanted more power and he lost that power struggle. In terms of final decisions, the Kings' next head coach will have to have a strong record of building defense. Clifford, Jackson, and Brown are all known as strong defensive first coaches, but we'll admit Clifford and Brown, have a better resume. While Clifford has shown it, Brown has been the defensive architect for the Warriors the past 2 seasons after spending 4 seasons with, as the offensive coordinator, basically, of the Warriors. And here are the defensive rankings of the Kings since the 2005-2006 season when they were last in the playoffs and had an 11th ranked defense under Rick Adelman's final season. So the following year, they were 22 defensive ranking under Eric Musselman. Following year, at 25th rank with Reggie Theos. Then 30 rank with Kenny Nat and Theos. Then Paul Westphal, 23rd and 20. Then Westphal and Keith Smart, 29. And then Keith Smart again, 29. Mike Malone, 23. Malone and Ty Corbin and George Karl in their one season, 27. Then George Karl in his full year, 22. Then David Yoger, 26, 27, 21. Luke Walton in his first season, 19. And then in his following, 30. And then in his last year was 27 with Alvin Gentry as well, doing 27. So it's interesting to see that, but damn, hopefully they choose the right guy. If I have to say so, I would there's a lot of things coming up about Mark Jackson as a person. Somebody says he does not like gay people, supposedly, in my comment section. I don't know if that's a true rumor. This is all allegedly. Someone tell me if that's true. That'd be terrible. That's not good. It's 2022, man. And it's supposedly over religious beliefs. What? So if that's true, I would not get more. I know that's like irrelevant and it's his right, but that would, especially in California, he did coach the Warriors, but I just feel like maybe the fan base wouldn't like that. I think either way, I would either give Mike Brown another chance or Steve Clifford. I would give Mike Brown the shot. I would choose Mike Brown.